This is the Kreo Transformers Robots in Disguise custom Kreons from the first wave of the custom Kreons from the Robot in Disguise Kreo minifigures or Kreons. Here is a quick look at the packaging. There's 3 Autobots and 1 Decepticon. It's got to be a Decepticon. I was kind of hoping to be strong arm, but you know how Hasbro does it. They always need the balance of Autobots and Decepticons. So you got the first, I think this is their first Decepticon villain on the show. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of the shows. I didn't want to watch the preview videos first. I didn't want to see spoilers. This is Steeljaw. You got Grimlock, Bumblebee, and their mentor, Optimus Prime. If you haven't figured it out, Bumblebee is now leading the team to hunt and track down the Decepticons that have sort of crash landed on Earth or escaped on Earth, whatever. We'll get to see more of that when the show does come in. You know what? I was going to say that these are going to... I actually thought they were going to be just the same rehashed Kreons. But they're actually there's some improvements that Hasbro has done to give you a better experience with these custom Kreons. It's the same format they use. They still have the rack, and they've got the Kreons with interchangeable bodies, translucent, energized bodies. One thing they did remove, and I'll talk more about that later, is that they took away some of the unnecessary bits that they probably felt that fans didn't really need, which is okay, and they focus more on the detail of the individual figures. And the figures are actually great on their own, which, you know, if you did get these, you didn't really like the sets, you're just a Kreon collector, you don't have to buy the sets to get a Bumblebee, a decent Bumblebee. Maybe you'll have to get one to get an open-faced one, but at least you got an Optimus, Bumblebee, Grimlock, and I'm just waiting for the other characters. I hope the Wave 2 comes. We'll get Strong Arm, we'll get Fix-It, this is the complete team, and Sideswipe, definitely, and another Decepticon, perhaps. So anyway, let me talk about the different, let me just, before we talk about individually the characters, some of the differences that they've done. Let me show you Bumblebee, because it's still the same, they still have the rack, but they've changed the base. They did away with the Kreo brick, and instead they put a base that says Kreo with limited holes. There's only 8 holes instead of 12 for this base. There's nowhere to put the figure on it if you put everything on it, not unlike the previous custom Kreons, but it's still the same. It's got the clips, instead of, again, I mentioned the changes they did. Instead of those long arms, they've just put the same size, same length of arms, but in the translucent version. Same with the legs, the body, and the helmet. So if you want to make him energized there, you just need to replace the hips and the head and the fists, and that same thing as the old Kreons, but you don't get those long arms anymore, and you have an option to keep the figure opaque or translucent. Second, the helmet, they've added a cylinder. Let me see if I can just focus on that for a bit. A cylinder for the headpiece, so that there was a place you could hang the helmet. If you noticed in some of my other reviews, there was really no place to hang the extra helmet. I'd put it on top of a weapon. I mean, as you transported them from one shelf to another, the helmet would easily fall off and you'd lose it one way or another. With the new rack, there is a place for the helmet as a placeholder for the head, and that's really great. I'm really very appreciative of that. Also, I'd like to mention in the instructions, they tell you to just put the legs this way, like that, like this, and put the other one as well on the other side, and they ask you to just as a tip for parents out there who are giving this to their kids, so you do it this way, and then they tell you to just stick the body, the crystal body here, but there's no way you could do that. So what I did was each of the legs does have a hole where you can put wheels or weapons and whatnot, and I stuck that onto the shoulder ball joints of the translucent body, and this way you can put the body there, but the legs are not going to peg in, but that's fine, you know. And again, if you keep the helmet on, like Hasbro, how did you even think that this thing would be straight up? It's not going to be erect up. It's going to skew towards the back or something like that. But anyway, those are just small things that they did, which actually, you know, I really appreciated it. I thought they were just cutting back, and, you know, part of it is probably cost cutting, but really it's just they changed the experience of the rack. And onto the figure. Figure, again, is as I said, there's more detail to it. You don't have a mix of translucent and opaque. It's all opaque or all translucent. But one really big improvement they did, which I really appreciate, is the tightness of the helmet peg. They made it a little bit more loose, actually a lot more loose. So you don't, when you have the head, when you stick the head with the helmet like that, and you find the head with, they're actually packaged this way. The head is stuck in the helmet. But when you find your Kreons this way, in the older versions of the Kreons, it's like, oh my god, you're screwed. There's really very little you can do to actually remove it, except put it on the body peg and sort of try and fidget around and try and get it out. But chances are you'll just rip off the head with it. But with this new helmet, the peg holes, the holes are actually a lot more loose, so very simple. You can easily take it out easily, and the neck joints are tighter. So that's what I really appreciate most about this, the improvements that Hasbro's done for these Kreons. The helmets are a lot easier to remove. So, excuse me, let me just shed more light on these guys. All right, so let's talk about each figure individually. Optimus Prime, very cool. Still looks like the show. It's like a combination of animated and Prime. Very nice. I do hope we get to see more of him. It looks like that we'll just be seeing Bumblebee a lot more, and he's gonna be like Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's got this chrome bazooka. I don't know why they gave him that instead of a blaster, but the packaging seems to think otherwise. Seems to indicate that that's his weapon. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see on the show. And he comes with a Klingon double-bladed spear, whatever. But he still looks great. Opaque, neatly painted. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. He looks a little bit dull at first glance, but when you get to see more of him, you get to see that the plastic they use, and also on Bumblebee and on Steeljaw, you get to see there's a little bit of flake and glittery shine on the actual plastic itself. So that's really nice. Then you have Bumblebee, the leader of the Autobot team, is tasked to hunt down Decepticons. This is the official mode. He's got a energon blaster, sort of. You can put the rifle or the blaster right there, but I thought this was pretty neat on its own. I do hope we get a Bumblebee version that has an open face, since that's how he looks most of the time on the show. Then we got Grimlock. Very nice. The dinosaur, the green dino. It's probably going to be the bulkhead of the team, or that could be strong arm, I don't know. He comes with his sword. Even the black on him, I was mistaken. I thought it was just simple black. There's a little bit of flake and glittery specks on it. So that's nice. Very well done, Hasbro. There are some issues with the paint apps for Grimlock that I've noticed in some, compared to the other four. It was easy to find Bumblebee. The only thing you need to worry about is the Autobot symbol. Optimus Prime was okay. Most of it was okay. But Grimlock, the silver, the grayish silver paint that's really on him, that's like this one. So you already can see that the leg pieces are unevenly painted. This one's a lot thicker in silver than this one, so you'll have to choose from among the pegs. And you know what's nice about these figures, they're not short packed. I think the only ones that are short packed are this guy, and I'm not sure about Optimus, but this guy's definitely short packed because he is a Decepticon. And on to Steeljaw. Looks pretty neat as well. I love the Kreon version of this one. Very nice. Look at that, even the whole body has a little bit of a flake type of shine to it. Very nice. And he comes with these. The official weapon mode that he should be using is a sword, but since he turned into a wolf, and he's sort of like a Predacon or a Beast Wars figure, so I left the animal claws on his hand for some reason. Anyway, so there you go, folks. It's a great wave. I was very impressed with it. I didn't think I thought I'd just be, I thought it'd be just a mediocre set, but it turns out to be a good set. I'm gonna have to give all the figures a 10 out of 10. I did not hate any of the figures. They're actually pretty well made, and I love the improvements that Hasbro has done for these custom Kreons, the format for the custom Kreons, and I hope we get to see Wave 2 soon. You better make a Wave 2, Hasbro. I mean, we need the rest of the team, more Predacons, and more Decepticons. And I'm really looking forward to getting the actual toys, seeing the Kreo sets, and the one-step changers. We'll see. So there you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this video review. If you did, please click the thumbs up icon at the bottom. Follow me on Twitter for my toy purchases, Instagram for my toy sightings here in Manila. Check out all my video reviews on this channel, Chefatron. This has been the first wave of the Kreo Transformers Robots in Disguise Custom Kreons featuring Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Grimlock, and Steeljaw. Thanks for watching.